Hello friends, welcome to Technique. This is Nirmal here, and in this video we'll be doing the detailed review of the new POCO F4 5G. So POCO announced the F4 recently, and this is a really good device in terms of what is being offered. Actually, it comes with a Snapdragon 870 chip. You get the E4 AMOLED display, and you also get a really good performance. So how good is the device for the price segment it is being offered? It's priced at 27,999 for the base 6GB RAM variant and 128GB storage. So let's see those aspects in this detailed video. Now POCO claims this to be a really good successor to the POCO F1 launched in 2018, which also had really great hardware. Now POCO F4 5G is also a good all-rounder in terms of hardware, but how does it turn into a real-time experience? That's what we're going to talk about in this detailed review. So before getting started, if this is your first time on the channel, do hit that red subscribe button and also hit the bell icon to get notified of all the videos we publish. So let's go deep into the POCO F4 5G. So first let's have a look at the design and build quality. Now what stands out with the POCO F4 5G is a good looking design. Now you can see that it has a flat back panel. This is kind of a newer trend in 2022. A lot of devices we have seen with a flat back panel, squared out edges. Now looking at the design, you can see that the camera unit is well laid. You can see the slide projection for the camera unit, and you get the triple camera slot, 64 megapixel OIS as mentioned, LED flash. This is a glass finishing. It's a flat glass finishing. POCO 5G is mentioned. It's a toughened glass, and you can see that the fingerprint scanner and the volume rocker keys on the right side. The top houses the speaker unit, IR blaster. The bottom section has USB Type-C port and the SIM tray. It's a dual SIM card without an SD card slot, and you also get the speaker unit at the bottom. Now the front panel has this punch hole selfie camera, and the bezels are also kept to extremely minimal. So in terms of design, this definitely looks good, and it is just 7.7 mm in thickness, which means it's pretty lightweight and slim to hold. It's almost 195 grams in weight. So it's again one of the good devices in terms of weight distribution, and it feels really nice to hold in hands. So design is definitely good, and material quality once again it feels really solid. We have this glass finishing, and which gives it a good finishing altogether, and it definitely feels good in terms of build quality as well. So that's the design and build quality of the POCO F4. Now moving on to the display. So this has to be one of the highlights of the POCO F4 5G. It comes with a full HD AMOLED resolution display, and you get the E4 AMOLED display. It's a 6.67 inches full HD plus display. It supports Dolby Vision. That's one of the good aspects. It has HDR10 plus support. Then you also get peak brightness of 1300 nits, which is again good, and the touch response is really good, and you also get 120 Hz refresh rate, which means you get a really smooth experience. You can see here there is standard, and you can go with either 60 Hz or 120 Hz. So that is also pretty good. So overall display quality is really vibrant and crisp, and it supports Dolby Vision for Netflix and other OTT platforms. So you can watch videos in really great experience with the Dolby Vision support. So it's one of the really good devices in terms of display quality, and also the touch response feels very smooth. So display has to be top notch on the POCO F4 5G. Now the display is also protected by Corning Gorilla Glass 5, so you're well secured in terms of that aspect as well. Now next let's move on to the software aspect. Now this device comes with MIUI 13, and you get Android 12, so that's pretty good. You get the latest version of MIUI and also the latest version of Android. So let's see how it works. So you can see here this is the software, and if you go here MIUI 13.0.3, and we have the Android at 12. Let's go to the all specs. We have the 12GB RAM variant, and you get 3GB additional storage, expandable storage, and Qualcomm Snapdragon 870, Android version 12, and the security update right now is from June 2022, so it's well equipped in terms of software updates. And in terms of software experience, you can see that you get all the features generally you see on the POCO or other Xiaomi devices. You get always on display, and you can customize the always on display. There is glance screen. Then if you go to the themes and security option, then you can get different wallpapers, customization of themes, and additional settings. You can see that gestures are there, quick ball, screen recorded, one-handed mode, memory extension feature. Then under special features you you have sidebar, floating window, second space. So it's well equipped in terms of features and options, and you also get the latest version of Android. So software experience is pretty good. In fact, one thing what we didn't get detailed information is how many updates and how many versions of Android this device will get, or rather how many years of security updates and Android updates this device will get. That is not yet revealed by Poco. That should have been also been included. That will give more clarity for buyers. That's the only thing which Poco hasn't revealed as of now, but probably this will get updates. That's what we feel. But overall the software experience is pretty good. We didn't see any sort of issues here. MIUI has improved a lot with the MIUI 13, and we did not see any sort of bugs or issues on this device. So it's pretty good in terms of software experience. Now moving on to the performance. Now this device is powered by the Qualcomm Snapdragon 870 chip. Now this is one of the really good mid-range chipsets from last year. Now this is either coupled with 12GB RAM, 8GB RAM or 6GB RAM, all of which have 128 gigs of storage. Now you also get the additional RAM expansion feature on this device. Now in terms of performance, this is one of the really good devices in terms of overall performance. We did the throttling test, gaming test, and put it to extreme test. It found and we found that the performance is really good, especially in throttling test. 93% throttled the CPU. That's one of the best scores we have got for the Qualcomm Snapdragon 870 chip. And even the AnTuTu benchmark score and even the Geekbench, we have done the test. You can check out our video to get an idea about how the scores are. It's available on our channel. So it is definitely one of the better devices in terms of performance. Even the gaming experience was surprisingly good. There is no throttling, no heating issues, and thermals are really well done. You also get the large graphite sheets and liquid cooling technology, so that makes it really great in terms of performance. In fact, the sustained performance is really good on this device, so performance is top notch on this device. Even gaming, if you are doing BGMI or other games, you won't see any sort of issues. Even we played for almost 1.5 hours, we did not see any sort of issues on this device, so that's pretty good. Now this device comes with up to 10 5G bands, and you also get voice over Wi-Fi, VoLTE, carrier aggregation, everything is supported, and you get a dual SIM card. There is no expansion slot. You get 128GB storage out of the box. Now there is dual stereo speakers available, and you also get Dolby Atmos support. That's again something which is really good. Now the call quality and signal strength with the 4G VoLTE network was pretty good. We did not see any sort of issues there as well. Now the fingerprint scanner is side mounted, which is quite good. It's quite fast in terms of unlocking, and we don't see any sort of issues. Now whether side mounted fingerprint scanner is good or whether in display is good, that's more of a personal choice. We feel side mounted makes slightly easier, at least for us, to unlock the device. Now that's the other aspect. Now let's move on to the cameras. Now this device comes with a triple camera setup. You get a 64 megapixel OmniVision sensor. It's f1.8 aperture. You get an 8 megapixel ultra wide and a 2 megapixel macro, and on the front you get a 20 megapixel selfie camera. Now we have done the detailed camera review of this device and found this camera to be quite capable one. In fact, if you haven't seen the camera review, do check out our channel. We have updated all the camera samples in our camera review. Now the daylight shots came out quite good. In fact, the details are good, the colors are consistent, and there is no oversaturation issues, and details and sharpness levels are also good. The dynamic range also looks good. The ultra wide angle camera retained the exact same colors as the primary camera, which is pretty good again. And in terms of close-up shots also, it came out pretty good, but macros were not exceptionally well, because it's kind of above average performance. You can't expect stunning macros from the 2 megapixel shooter, but the quality is quite decent although. Now portraits are really good. Xiaomi or other Redmi and Poco have mastered the portraits really well, and this is no exception. So here also you get really good portraits, and the low light experience with optical image stabilization works really well, and you get a pretty good low light shots with the night mode turned on as well. Now in terms of video recording also, you get 4K up to 60 FPS, and there is optical image stabilization and EIS supported on the video recording as well. Now selfies also turned out to be pretty good in terms of overall experience. So the cameras are really good. You can check out our detailed camera review to see how the performance is. Now next, let's move on to the battery. Now this device comes with a 4500 mAh capacity battery, and you get 67 watt sonic charger. Now the company claimed around 38 minutes to full charge, but we got around 46 minutes. Now 46 minutes isn't slow by any means, but again it's not as fast as the competition offers. Some devices offer full charge in around 30 minutes. Nothing much of a difference though, but claimed charging speeds are not available, but not a major concern again. Now the battery performance is really good. You can get like 7.5 hours of screen on time easily on this device, which we feel is pretty good considering the battery size and the hardware it offers. So that's again personal usage. It depends upon person to person and the apps you use, but for our usage we got around 7 to 7.5 hours of screen on time, which we feel is pretty good. So that's the camera and the battery life. So these are really good aspects about the Poco F4. Now summing up, what are the pros and cons of this device? Now pros include good design, good build quality, display is really good. Now the software experience is also good, performance is stellar or rather epic performance, one of the best devices in terms of performance in the sub 30k price segment right now, and you got pretty good cameras as well, and battery life is also quite good. Now the cons, probably Poco hasn't announced the update cycle. That's one important thing which Poco should be announcing right now. That's the only thing which we feel is a con, and probably you can say that the charging speeds are not that great, but again not a major concern though. But we would have liked some clarity on the Poco's update cycle. That's where things might change. So we hope Poco will announce that in the coming days. So if you're looking for a good all-round package in the sub 30k price segment, Poco F4 5G definitely works well, and it's one of the good devices. It's an all-round package actually. There isn't anything which you can complain on this device, but or rather there isn't anything which is a major con on this device. There are minor cons as I said before, but not a major one. So it's a well-rounded package at this price segment, and if you're looking for a device in the sub 30k price segment, the Poco F4 5G should be in your list. So that was a detailed review of the Poco F4 5G. Hope you enjoyed watching this video. Do hit that like button and also hit the subscribe button for more videos. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you in our next video. Have a great day.